Kia ora to all you YouTube fuckers. This is how you fucking do a fucking starter motor in a fucking Nissan Presage 2000 V6. So in the fucking nutshell, you take off your two battery terminals so nothing sparks. You got two little bolts here, you got one here, let's call this one apple, and let's call this one banana. You take those two bolts off and this whole casing should come off with the little section there. Pretty simple. So now we're moving to the fucking air filter system. I think there's two different departments. Let's start on this side here on the right side. You just loosen up there with the flathead, and then let's just call this the grey button. It's just a clip release. You got three different clips on the filter just to pop the head off. That's one there, easy as, just two, and there's another one somewhere at the back, but you gotta have fucking small Chinese hands to get in there. There's three clips. That head there will just pop off and it'll get you into this part here. And this tube here has a name, it's called Sister 1. This big one here is called Sister 2. And there's two of them here. The small one we'll call her Sister 3. So those can come off too. So we got Sister 2, 3 and 1. And then once you got the fucking three sisters off, you can get their casing off and get into the starter motor pretty easy from there. So let's get fucking into it. Where the fuck's the starter motor? Your starter motor is right the fucking there somewhere. So you have to take this off first. Good old apple and good old banana. Don't know what fucking size they are. They're fucking little anyway. Okay, that fucking size. Okay. So once old fucking apple and banana have come off, this whole casing should come off pretty easy. Now, we're going to move into the next motherfucking phase, which is the air filter system. We're going to release these three clips. There's three of them, two in the front and one at the back here. It pays to have small fucking hands here, but once you've released the three clips, this top end air filter casing is almost ready to pop off. First of all, you've got to come around the back here and release this grey button clip. Loosen the tensioner on the main tube with a flathead screwdriver. The cap for the air filter system should just pop off like your mad auntie ready to give you a hiding with the fucking jandal. Now that's phase 1 out the fucking way. Now we can move to phase 2, which is the left hand side of the air filter system. Okay, so the first step for phase 2 is to remove the first tube that we named Sister 1. Now once the old bag Sister 1's out, you move to Sister 2 and you release the tensioner there and you pull out Sister 2. Now Sister 2 was always sitting next to Sister 3, so while you're at it, you might as well do them fucking both. And once you've pulled out on all three sisters like dirty fucking sluts, the second part of the casing should just pop out. And now we can see where the sun don't fucking shine. There's the fucking problem, burnt out. So to get the starter mode out, you take these two nuts off here with a size 14 out of your socket set. Now let's also not forget that I ain't no fucking professional mechanic. I don't even know the fucking names to all of these parts, but I've just fucking give any name for them. Make sure your battery's been disconnected, whānau, or you'll be getting sparks. You have it? One done. Got that. And the second bolt should be a big fucker, and there she is. And once you've pulled out your two main screws, you can move down to the small clip here, this grey one. By just pushing on this side, she should separate like fucking that, and Bob's your fucking uncle. And your starter motor should pull out like a sloppy cock out of a fucking wet pussy. Now here we fucking go. Here's the old bitch here. Here's the fucking problem here. Look, this wire here, she's been fucking burnt out. And here goes the new girl. Before we put her in, you have to release this clip. Oh, fucking put this fucking thing in. It was a mish. Oh, fuck that anyway. Put the clip on, and then we just have to put the fucking starter motor back into place. Like how you pulled your sloppy dick out, you chuck him back in. Once she's in the right fucking hole, and she's all sorted, you can now repeat the whole process and retrace all your steps from finish to start. Some people, like me, like to be fucking different, and here I go, tightening up the old fucking starter motor by the main two bolts. Give those a fucking tighten. Now I'm looking at the old main fucking wire that needs to be put on. But first, I'm going to fucking put that fucking grey clip on first. She's a fucking cunt of a mish anyway with my big hands. Needs to be some small hands to get in there. However, with a bit of fucking fucking mana, I fucking finished it off anyway. Now I'm putting on that main wire that burnt out on my starter motor. That fucking wire that burnt. Yeah, well, she's fucking good now. Well, here we go. Me, the dumbass, I have to turn this around, make it easier for me, because the old flathead screwdriver was facing inwards before. Just made it easier for the next fuckwit when he wants to take this whole casing off. Once you put the casing on, you fucking tighten them up. And once she's tight, we now move back to our three sisters. Slap old sister 3 back on, and her twin sister, sister 2, because they'll be fucking tighter than the nuns. Cunt, you might need a fucking pair of pliers to help you get those fucking tensioners back on. Slap in old sister 3, she'll be fucking tight as fuck. Make sure she's nice and tight. Check all your tensioners, make sure they're nice and tight. And that's that phase, all fucking done. Now we're moving over to the airflow sensor, and we're going to be tightening that motherfucker up. So once you get the air cap back on, air filter cap back on, you move to the air tensioner, the airflow tensioner, tighten that bitch up. Make sure we put the grey button clip back on. That's what we fucking named her at the start. Tighten the bitch up, and Bob's your motherfucking auntie. So once that's on, clip all the 3 clips that you done at the start, 1, 2, and that fucking short one at the back. You need fucking small hands to clip into. Then once you're fucking done that, I think all you fucking have to do, mate, is put in that last airflow system, the one we done at the start with the 2 fucking bolts, apple and banana. Pretty fucking simple, as you can see on the fucking video. And the last thing we do is tighten up your fucking battery. And Bob's your fucking auntie again. And fucking voila. Chirk, fucking chirk. We all fucking done, Pano.
Just like they, Pano.